Hey Anne, so I want you to think about the unit circle here and remind yourself that tan of some angle, which we'll call that x, is the same thing as sine of x over cosine of x. Okay, so you can think of the tangent function as a slope where sine of x is the y coordinate, so that's your y coordinate of a point on the unit circle, and x, or cosine of x, is the x coordinate. So the easiest way to solve this problem is to go through the unit circle and ask yourself, right, which ordered pair, so which x comma y ordered pair, right, will result in a slope. So when you take the y coordinate and you divide it by the x coordinate, is going to result in negative square root of 3. Now I'm going to write this as a fraction, so you can think of it as negative square root of 3 over positive 1, or you can think of this as positive square root of 3 over negative 1. So now if we go to the unit circle, right, you know that you're looking at points that has the square root of 3 in it somewhere, okay? Because that's the only way that we're going to get a fraction with the square root of 3 in the numerator. So let's go through and see where those points are. So I've got one here in the first quadrant. I've got 2 points in the first quadrant there. 2 points in the second quadrant. Again, 2 points in the third quadrant. And 2 more points in the fourth quadrant. Okay, but I also need the answer or the slope to be negative. So that means that we can eliminate, let's see, I can eliminate the points in the first quadrant because those are going to be a positive. I can eliminate the point at 7 pi over 6 because both of these points are negative, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive, which means that, okay, 7 pi over 6 and 4 pi over 3 are out of the question. Okay, and so what are we left with? We're left with these 4 to choose from. Okay, so the answer is either going to be 2 pi over 3, 5 pi over 6, 5 pi over 3, or 11 pi over 6, or a combination of those. Okay, so how are we going to figure out which one of those 4 ordered pairs is going to give us negative square root of 3? So I'm going to now rewrite, let me go back to my black marker here. I'm going to rewrite this, okay? So I know that the y coordinate is going to be square root of 3 over 2. I'm going to just ignore the sign for right now. I'm going to think of this as, okay, the y coordinate, which is the same thing as sine of x. So sine of x gives us the y coordinate. So I'm looking for a y coordinate that is the square root of 3 over 2. And I'm dividing it by the x coordinate. So we know that the x coordinate is going to be 1/2. Okay, so this is a complex fraction. This is the same thing as 3 over 2 times the reciprocal, okay, of the denominator times 2 over 1. And we can check this. You can see that the 2's will cancel out, and I'm left with square root of 3 over 1, which is the same thing as square root of 3. Okay, and because these 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 points, okay, one of the coordinates is negative, we know that if we choose any one of those 4, we'll have a result that is negative square root of 3, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to take a look at that denominator, okay, 1/2. All right, so let's look at the denominator. I need a cosine of x that results in 1/2. So where do you see that? We see that at 2 pi over 3. So notice that, I'll use green here. 2 pi over 3, okay, has an x coordinate that is 1/2, okay? And so that means that I'm going to eliminate the option, the second point there that I just x'd out. And then let's take a look at the fourth coordinate, the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, you can see that point 4 here, right here, is the only one that has cosine of x being 1/2. So that means I can eliminate point 3 here, okay? And so this tells us that if you take tan, okay, of 2 pi over 3, or if you take tan of 5 pi over 3, that will result in, okay, square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so if we do 2 pi over 3, divide it by negative 1/2, which is going to give us negative square root of 3. And if we take tan of 5 pi over 3, that's going to be negative square root of 3 over 2 over positive 1/2, which is also negative square root of 3. So that means that the answer must be 2 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. I hope that helps.